The V taper is everything when it comes to aesthetics. Having the fucking wide capped shoulders and a smaller waist and hitting the fucking golden ratio of like 1.6, right? That's literally everything when it comes to it. It's like 95% of the work of building an aesthetic physique, right? So for those of you that don't know what V taper is, basically think about how if you see a girl, right? A girl who's got like a fat ass, small waist, big tits, right? When you see a girl like that, that for you is attractive. Like you look at that and be like, ooh, right, that's attractive, right? That's like the hourglass figure in a girl, right? So that's like the how would you describe that? The body shape is like an hourglass figure. That's attractive to you, right? Girls, the equivalence of that, exactly the equivalence is the V taper. What's the V taper? Basically, you just have like much wider shoulders than your waist, right? So your waist just looks a lot smaller than your fucking shoulders, right? That's like the V taper, right? And to build the V taper, there's a specific group of muscles you'd need to train, right? And the group of muscles are basically like you'd need capped shoulders, so lateral delts. You'd need big lats, right? So it's like fucking lats, and then that's basically like most of building the V taper. You can also like have like the brachialis, which is like part of your bicep, like the side part of your bicep. It also it makes you look like wider, right? So what does this look like in real life? Let me show you what that looks like in real life. So you see like my physique. Let me just move my chair. Yeah, I think you can still see. You see like my physique, right? Having like these muscles here. These muscles, right? Like when I stand straight like that, you can see like my shoulders look a lot wider than my waist, right? So my waist looks small, but my shoulders look a lot wider, right? So you can see my shoulders like wide, my waist is like small, and I have like the fucking lats popping out, right? So it just looks like a V from like the top here going down. It looks like a V. It makes a V shape, right? This is where like the name. This is where the name V taper comes from. I can't fucking talk with the fucking. Let me put this onto the chain. This is where like the name V taper comes from, right? So you see that? This is like what a V taper physique would be. It's just basically having the lats coming in like that, down, and then you have like the fucking brachialis as well, which adds on from like the biceps, and then you have like just the fucking shape, the V shape, right? This is what the V taper is about, and this is basically like everything when it comes to aesthetic, right? So now let me explain to you like a few other concepts which are like super, super important, right? So I've already explained to you that you need to build a V taper, right? So to build a V taper, the 80-20 muscle group to train. 80-20 basically just means like the 20% of results that give you the 80%. I mean the 20% of actions that give you the 80% of results. What the fuck, right? The biggest thing you can do to get the most results is to train your lats, right? So your lats are these muscles that I've just shown you. Those muscles basically push your shoulders apart and they make you just look wider, right? That's like the biggest thing you can do to just basically like max out progress or the V taper, right? And then the second biggest thing you can do is train your delts, right? So you want like capped delts and like wide shoulders, right? So you train your lateral delts, and when you train your lateral delts, they also add in some width, and then you just look a lot wider from the top, right? And then the other things you can do again is like train your brachialis specifically, which is just like your side part of your biceps, right? That's like one other thing you can do, right? So if you were limited to what you can train, you'd basically want to max out on just these muscles, right? Because basically the V taper revolves around these three muscles, right? So you just want to like focus all your energy on that. I know in your head, aesthetics basically just means having like abs and chest and whatever, right? But like the V taper is just like so much more important than having abs and chest, right? In your head, like you just need to believe me. I know abs and chest are one of the 7 aesthetic muscles, right? Yes, they are aesthetic. You do need to train your abs, you do need to train your chest, you do need to train your neck, your upper traps, whatever, right? But like purely to to maximize your results, if you were limited to what you can do, you want a good overall physique, but if you were limited and you could only train 3 muscles, you just want to train these 3 muscles to have the white shape, right? Because think about it, when you're in like a t-shirt, right, you can't see like your abs, but you can see the shape. When you have the shape of like having wide shoulders and a smaller waist, and you have that golden ratio of like 1.6. 1.6 is the golden ratio of like the shoulder to waist ratio is like 1.6, right? When you hit that ratio, that's when you basically just maximize the results, right? So it took me 1.5 years to get here. I've been training for like 1.5 years. I've made progress exceptionally quick. I'll put up the picture of when I started, and I've already just shown you like my current physique, right? I've made progress exceptionally quick, right? Like exceptionally quick. If you're trying to make progress this quick, right, you can see my other videos of like how extreme I've had to go sometimes in terms of like bulking, cutting, whatever. You can see how extreme I've had to go in some of my seasons to get to this physique, right? But also on the bright note, like I might be biased about this. If you do watch the fucking videos and you do learn the mistakes I made, you do learn the improvements I made, you can obviously reach the physique faster than me. But if like I've shown you the fucking physique I started off with, I started off from basically nothing, right? Not just nothing. I started from negative. Like I started off looking malnourished. I was skinny as fuck, right? So I needed to go to the gym to just look like a normal person. I needed to go to the gym and make lots of progress to just look like a normal person, right? Not so that people can't pick me out and say that kid is malnourished. I needed to go to the fucking gym and put in the fucking work, right? So like, if you want to make progress, right, you just need to put in like the fucking work with these muscles that I've explained to you. Now, if you want to maximize the amount of progress you can make, right, I've shown you like the important muscles, but if you want to have the full rounded aesthetic physique, you need to train all 7 aesthetic muscles, right? So what are the 7 aesthetic muscles? That's like neck, upper traps, right? Look at that. There's not good lighting in here, but still you can see the fucking definition and striations in the fucking neck, right? You need to train your neck. You need to train your fucking neck, right? If you want the physique, this is what you have to do, right? Like, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to convince you about this, but like, if you want the physique, just train your fucking neck, right? The 7 aesthetic muscles are neck, upper traps, lateral delts, upper chest, abs obliques, biceps, and lats. I've told you the 3 that contribute to the V taper, but these ones complete the aesthetic physique, right? So the V taper is important, but you obviously want to have fucking developed traps. You obviously want to have a fucking thick chest. You want to have abs. You want to have a fucking like thick developed neck, right? You want to have everything to just max out the fucking physique, right? So these are the like 7 muscles which are crucial to building an aesthetic physique. You train these for half a year. You work on being as lean as you possibly could and like be at least sub 11% body fat. You work on these 2 things, you'll build the aesthetic physique faster than even I did, right? And I did it really quickly. So like you build the physique even faster than I did, right? So these are like the 7 aesthetic muscles. This is like the leanness you need to be. This is like the things you need to do, right? Just work on this as much as you can and you make progress in building the aesthetic physique, right? Like the video and subscribe to the YouTube.